All right, on my way back from my job in Nashville. Got it just about wrapped up. Gonna have to go back. I don't have a quite long enough of a pressure washing cord for me to, or hose rather, for me to get it all done today. When I go back, it'll be about another hour and a half. So I feeling pretty good about it. Sucks I couldn't get it done in one go round, but feeling pretty good about it. Anyhow, I realized when I put my video up, thinking like an entrepreneur, entrepreneurial thinking about your money, I didn't really provide a set in stone example. So I'm going to give you an example from me so that maybe it can help frame it for you. There's a lot of guys and gals on YouTube, on the motivational speaking market, whatever the case may be. They sell a big vision, they sell a big image, they sell a big everything, but they don't really have much of a way of actual practical steps. Dave Ramsey does. Dave Ramsey has great practical steps. The Velocity channel on YouTube, they're pretty wild. Their ideas about credit and their ideas about investment are pretty aggressive, but they have a plan of attack. They have steps you can take. So I need to do that as well. So here's my point. Here's something you can think about for yourself. Now, I'm not telling you have to pressure wash, but I wanted to give you this example because it's pretty amazing actually. So yesterday I made $350 roughly pressure washing. The first house that I did was about 900 square feet. It was a ranch house. What I do with my ranches and my 2 levels, as long as they're not really big and there's not a lot of work or there's not a lot of levels that I got to start getting creative with and get up on the roof or whatever the case may be, for my ranches and my 2-level homes, I just charge a flat rate. For a ranch, I charge $175. For a 2-level home, it's anywhere between $250 to $225. If it's a really big house, the price will change. But typically how I stay competitive and how I get business come through the door is I just have this flat rate. Customers seem to like it a little more. My point is this. I pressure washed a house yesterday for a wonderful customer. It was through one of my real estate partners, Lane Eisenhower. I believe her last name is Eisenhower, over at Century 21. She's awesome. Set me up with one of her customers who's trying to sell a house. The house needed to be pressure washed, was very dirty. Opened up some other opportunities for work too, which was great. But about a 900 square foot home. Again, I just have that flat rate, $175. Guys, I pressure washed that house in an hour and 15 minutes. If you wanna include setup and tear down, an hour and a half. I made $175 in an hour and a half. I then went to my other house that was also a ranch, but it was a lot bigger and it was taller. It had higher eaves that I had to get on a ladder. The north wall was very, very dirty. It was as green as the grass that we're looking at now. Excuse me. That took longer. That took about 4 hours. About an hour a wall. Is really the north wall really took the longest because I had to put the cleaner on it. The cleaner has to sit for 5 to 10 minutes for it to really do its job, so you can just blast the stuff off. Otherwise, you're sitting there longer trying to basically just muscle the dirt and grime off, and it's not as good of an outcome for the customer. So I want to do the best that I can. So it took longer, but effectively in 5.5 hours, I made $350. My point is this. The great thing about being an entrepreneur and doing your own thing, you get to pick and choose what work for what amount of money that you want to do. So, and I'm not saying you have to pressure wash, but I want to give you an example that's tangible. Let's say you go, you know what? I'm going to start pressure washing on the side. If you want to, you can choose to do houses that are 800 to 900 to 1,000 square feet that are just ranches. You could charge $150. People would pay that all day long. Everyone else that I've seen in the industry in my area, their starting price is $199. I'm coming in at $25 cheaper, doing just as good of a job, if not better. Customers are going to pay that all day long. You could say, hey, all I want to do is ranches. I'm willing to come in at $150, or even you could price the same as me. You could go out and work for an hour and a half and make $150. You do one a week on a Saturday or Sunday, that's an extra $600 a month for a total of hour and a half, 3 hours, 4.5 hours, 6 hours of work. 6 hours of work, you can make an extra $600 a month. And it's really not hard. The hardest part about it, once you get your grip used to it, because pressure washing is it's actually pretty physical, believe it or not. But once you get used to it, the hardest part about it is getting stuff on and off the truck. So that's no big deal. But again, you don't have to do pressure washing, but thinking about it that way, you could start an online sales thing with Amazon. Or I watched a video the other day of a guy who acts as a third-party scheduler for Airbnb. He's making like $6,000 a month just helping other owners of Airbnbs keep their Airbnb full. I mean, you can literally do anything. And what's awesome, when you're doing your own thing, when you don't have a boss, you're in charge. You can decide what work you want to do and what work you're not willing to do. It's powerful. So I wanted to make sure that I put a video out today that actually gave a specific example about how you could think concerning like entrepreneurial thinking. I know that the episode was entrepreneurial thinking about your money. We talked a little bit about, once you get to a certain dollar amount, just put all of your raises from there on out into the 401k, pay down your debt, or use that raise to pay down your debt, or put it in a Roth IRA, or whatever you want to do. But I wanted to also provide a tangible entrepreneurial way of thinking about earning money, something you could do. Guys, there's a lot of things out there that you can do. I like physical work. I'm a physical guy. I enjoy getting out there, being in the sun, getting wet, doing my thing. It's fantastic. So, made good money today. Gonna finish up another job. My day's done. My week is booked out. It's looking great. So, I'm telling you, don't think you can't do it. Don't think you don't have the time. You do have the time. You just have to find something that you're willing to do, that you can make a rate of money commiserate with the effort you're putting in. I'm telling you guys, it's powerful. You can do it. Know that you can do it. Maybe it's pressure washing. Maybe it's helping Airbnb people keep their Airbnb booked. Who knows? Whatever it is, go figure it out. Go think like an entrepreneur. Go get it.